So I think we're still gonna have a lot of romance, a lot of good banter, a lot of yearning in this book. That is a very, very unpopular bookish opinion, but get a bit of this done this week. Welcome to this week's reading vlog. So in this week's reading vlog, we're just gonna see how much I can realistically read in a normal week. So this is just gonna be a normal work week for me, where I'm gonna be reading mostly in the evenings, and we're just gonna see how many books I can get through, how much I can read at the end of this week. And I'm starting this video on a Thursday evening, so we're going to be reading until Wednesday evening next week. So I have my TBR card right next to me, and this is the December TBR that I picked in my December TBR video. And this duology is still on here because it is now the end of November that I'm filming this, so I really want to get to at least this duology. And I have picked a very, very nice TBR. I'm so excited for all of these books, so we're just going to see what I feel like. I'm just going to be mood reading this week. And I also picked up an audiobook as part of my TBR, and that is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, if I say that correctly. And that one is like a Christmas book about a spirit of Christmas or a ghost of Christmas. I don't really know how that's gonna work, but everyone is giving that book 4 stars or above, so I am very excited for that. And obviously we're gonna go into December, so we want to read some festive books, and that one just sounded great as an audiobook option. Another really good option is Heat of the Everflame by Pen Cole. It is a chunky book, but I would prefer to like at least get a bit of this done this week. Okay, no books were damaged in this video, don't worry. I would love it if I can read at least a chunk of this. I love this series, by the way. I'm really obsessed with this series. Anyway, grab yourself a drink if you have not already done so, and let's get to reading. I am currently reading These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan, and I also have the second book in this duology, These Twisted Bonds, and I think that I'm gonna start this video off by finishing this duology. I love, love, love a duology. I just love it. It's so much fun, and especially a young adult romantasy duology that's just quick, bingeable, gives you all the feels, the yearning. There's even a love triangle in this one, and honestly, it is typical romantasy young adult goodness. I'm here for the ride. So this is book 1, and I have maybe 50 pages left of this book before I finish it. And like I said, it is typical young adult romantasy, so it's nothing mind-blowing. I am not expecting major plot twists that I have not seen coming, but I am enjoying it. It is good for what it is. It is really good for what it is. So in this book, we are following our main character, and she is a thief. She's a human, and something happens. Her sister is taken, and she needs to go to the Fae realm to basically save her sister. So in order to do that, she makes a deal with the Unseelie King. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you too much about the story, but somehow she's gonna get entangled with 2 princes, the Prince of the Seelie Court and the Prince of the Unseelie Court. And the love triangle is with the 2 princes. And it is typical romantasy. So the plot twist that we had in this book, I kind of saw them coming, but I also didn't really mind because this is giving exactly what I wanted. Why is my package coming in when I am in the middle of filming this clip, and this package is my mic? Like, what are the odds? I'm sorry if this audio is bad because I was waiting for this adapter so that I could use my microphone. It's coming in the next clip, okay? I am just going to finish the last 50 pages of this book. Let's finish it together. Let's see what I think afterwards. Maybe the plot twists are still gonna surprise me, and I do think that the ending is gonna be absolutely crazy. Let's finish These Hollow Vows. Last night I finished These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan, and I really enjoyed this one. I decided to give it 4 stars, and I gave it 4 stars because during the entire book I was really enjoying it, but then, like I already told you, I was like, it's probably not really gonna surprise me. I thought I knew where this book was gonna go. But still, one of the plot twists did surprise me, not all of them. Like the other ones I kind of saw coming, but there was still one thing that I didn't see coming. So, I mean, this book did well. I really enjoyed it. It was a very quick read. Yeah, I love the feeling that this book gave me. It's just such a good young adult fantasy duology, and it's so nice that it's a duology because I can jump straight into the next book, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So I don't know what's gonna happen in this book. I feel like in this book we had a love triangle. I feel like that's kind of gonna continue into this book because she kind of picked one of the guys, but it's not clear that she's gonna stick with this guy, if that makes any sense. So I think we're still gonna have a lot of romance, a lot of good banter, a lot of yearning in this book, and I'm very excited for that. The only thing that I don't understand is why they chose to do these covers, because as you can see on this cover, there is, you know, one guy with dark hair and one guy with like silver or white hair, and then on this cover you see our main character. She has shorter hair, but you can also see like one of the 2 characters, so where is the other? So this makes me feel like she's gonna go for this character, but you know, maybe the cover is deceiving. I feel like this is giving something away, but I honestly don't know. So we're gonna start reading this book, and then I will let you know when I've read at least 25% of it, maybe. We'll see. It is currently Saturday evening, and I've been reading These Twisted Bonds. I'm currently up to page 71, and this book picks straight back up from where book 1 ended, and I just love it when duologies do that. It feels like I'm reading one big book, but it gives you the satisfaction of finishing 2 books. Does that make sense? The second book so far is just as good as the first. I've been thinking about the first book, and there was one thing that I was thinking about, like why I only gave it 4 stars. I mean, 4 stars is a very good rating, and I still stand by that because it was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. But our main character, she is a little bit impulsive. She makes decisions that you're like, maybe when something happens, you just need to stop, think about it a little bit, and then act. And our main character is like, this happened, we're gonna do this and this and this and this, instead of talking to the person who did something. You know what I mean? This is a typical thing in young adult fantasy books, I feel like, where our main characters are sometimes a little bit impulsive, and it can get a little bit annoying, but I think that she's gonna see the light in the second book. If she were a little bit less impulsive, then I would have enjoyed the first book a little bit more. I don't really know where this book is going, honestly. The first book was kind of predictable to me, but the second book, I don't really know where this is gonna end. I do feel like I know who she's gonna end up with, and I'm excited for that. The person that I feel like she's gonna end up with is my favorite, so if that happens, I will be happy. Yeah, I've just been enjoying this. I'm just gonna be sitting here and reading more of this, and I will give you an update when I finish a little bit more of it. So today I was doing some chores around the house, and when I'm doing chores around the house, I love to listen to an audiobook. So today I decided to listen to Fearful by Lauren Roberts, and that is, if you don't know, the final little novella in the Powerless trilogy. I am one of those people who loved the Powerless trilogy. I am so obsessed with every single book. I gave every single book 5 stars, and I know that a lot of people don't agree with me, but I just love Kai. I am so obsessed with Kai, and just every scene with Kai, I'm like, I just love him, okay? I have no words. I love him so much. So that whole trilogy was perfection to me. Maybe it's not for everyone, but for me personally, the feeling that that trilogy gave me, yes, I will reread that until the day I die, I think. It was so good. Anyway, back to the novellas. I read the first novella in between the first and the second book in the Powerless trilogy. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people love that novella, and I saw a lot of people giving it 5 stars, but for me personally, it wasn't necessary. I didn't not enjoy it. That was not it. It was just like, I could have done without it. Honestly, I could have done without it. I have the same feeling with Fearful, because a lot of people are giving that book 1 or 2 stars, and not many people really like it. Everyone is saying that it's unnecessary and that nobody wants to see more of kids, and I get that. I still love the world, and I knew going into it that everyone was kind of hating on the novella, so I knew that going into it, and now that I'm just listening to it instead of buying the book and physically reading it, I think that really helps me enjoy it a little bit more. It's just an audiobook, it is quick, it brings me back to the Powerless world. That is a world that I really love, and we're seeing some scenes from Kit's point of view, but we're also seeing some scenes with Kai, and we're seeing some little snippets of Baden, who is doing the trials. So I like being back into this world, but is it really necessary? No. I am just glad that I chose to listen to it on audio and that I didn't buy a physical copy, because I wanted to buy the special edition copy when it came out, but I waited a little bit because, like I said, I didn't really enjoy the first novella, so I waited for the reviews, and when those reviews came out, I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna read that. Anyway, I'm glad that I'm listening to it. It is fun. Is necessary? Probably not. Am I gonna give it a high rating? Probably not. It's feeling like a 3 star at the moment. It's just fine. So my plans for tonight is maybe read a little bit more of this book, and then I'm gonna go downstairs and watch a movie with my boyfriend maybe. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to reading and I will update you when I got a little bit further into it. I need to do my little Monday evening workout, which is just walking and having a very short run. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna listen to my audiobook of Fearful, and I will update you guys once I hopefully finish it. I feel like I still have maybe 40 minutes left to listen to it, so I hope that I can finish it during this workout, and I'll let you know what my final rating is. It is literally so cold in our home gym. I just want to wear gloves, like it's that cold in here. Anyway. Okay, you guys just saw me working out, and while I was working out, I was listening to Fearful, and I actually finished it. And what is even more crazy is that I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it, especially the ending of this book. I was kind of invested. And honestly, it doesn't really surprise me that I am invested in these characters or in this world, but it surprises me because I have only seen 2-star reviews. So this is a very unpopular bookish opinion, I think. That being said, it's not a 4-star or above. It is, I feel like I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I think that that is a very solid rating. It was so much better than I expected, but that is purely because I went in with 0 expectations. I'm gonna tell you something that is even more crazy right now, because I gave Powerful, the first novella in this series, only 3 stars. Which means that I liked Fearful more than I liked Powerful. That is a very, very unpopular bookish opinion, but let me just tell you why. Like, I didn't really care about Adina's story. I didn't really care about the romance that was developing there. All I cared about is that she was such a sweet girl and a sweet friend to Baden, and that was something that I enjoyed in that novella. But was it necessary? No. Was I really invested in their story, in their love story, and the way that progressed? No. And the reason why I was kind of invested in this story is because we saw little snippets of Kai, little snippets of Kit and his mind and how it worked. And I don't necessarily like Kit as a character, but I do like the brother dynamic. That is why I liked Fearful a little bit more than Powerful. And if I look at the series as a whole, then I gave the full books in the series, like the full trilogy, I gave every single book 5 stars. So the novellas, I still cared so much less for those novellas than how much I care for the story, the main storyline, how much I care for Peyton and Kai. That is another level. But the novellas, they were fun. If you liked the world that Lauren Roberts created for the Powerless trilogy, then I would really recommend that you just listen to the audiobooks of the novellas, because they're fun to listen to, but it's not anything revolutionary. It is not something that is going to stick with you for the rest of your life. I don't think it is. That being said, I have also been reading These Twisted Bonds, and I am currently almost 50% through. update. We just they are gonna do a little fake dating thing. Just a little bit of fake dating. I mean, that never hurts anyone, right? And I'm so here for it. I am so here for it. I'm so ready for this. Let's go. I mean, this book, the yearning, the tension, it's yes, just yes. I love, this is the reason why I love a young adult fantasy series. It hits every time when the yearning and the banter and the enemies to lovers or whatever this is, it's yes. I just eat it up every single time. Okay, so I have the little standard right here on this little table, and what I want to do is I want to have this snow cover the stand so that you don't see this, because I think that's too ugly. So I'm just gonna pop this over and maybe buy something like a blanket or something fun for over this table, but for now this will do. So I'm just gonna maybe make a hole, I don't know. Okay, that already looks really nice. Okay, I found this. So I know how to turn the lights on now. That's perfect. Hopefully they work. Okay, my theme is gonna be white and red, and I'm just gonna put these in first. Okay, I also have different types of Christmas balls. I have these little red ones, and then I have the more sparkly red ones. I have very sparkly tiny white ones, and I have these little velvet white ones. I have these little birdies that you could just put into the tree, and I have obviously a star for the top. Do you understand why I bought kids proof Christmas ornaments? Because I need them. If that was like a real glass ball, I would be done. We're gonna add the final pieces. I'll do the other one down here. I don't know if you can see him, but I think that will be cute. Okay, so here we have the final result. It is Wednesday today, and obviously you just saw me put up my Christmas tree. I am so happy with how it turned out. It makes me so happy that your house just turns into this very cozy place once you put up your Christmas tree. I really like that. Anyway, back to a reading update. I have read how many pages? I have read 340 pages of These Twisted Bonds, and honestly, the romance in this one is so good. I am enjoying this book a lot. I feel like I lean towards giving it 4.5 stars. It could be a 5-star, but then, you know, that depends on the ending of this book. It is giving me a lot of warm, cozy feelings, and it's purely because of the romance. The romance makes me so giggly, but in this book we get so much more than just romance. We get a lot of political intrigue, we get to see a lot more characters than in the first book, so I really think this book is better than the first book. The world just gets so much bigger. We are expanding in this book, and it is really good. I am really liking it. I do hope that I can finish it today. This book is how long? 500 pages. Maybe I can finish it today. I don't know. It's already like 3 in the afternoon and I have some stuff to do. So Wednesday is usually the day where I'm just at home, where I'm just doing some chores around the house. I started listening to a new audiobook, Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, and so far it is really funny. I am only 10% in, and I don't know if I'm gonna listen to any more of that book in this reading vlog, but I just wanted to mention that I started it, and honestly it inspired me to put up my Christmas tree because it was so much fun. Honestly, it is just the setting of that book. So the book is basically about a Christmas spirit who is like haunting this woman, and I don't really know where that is gonna go or what it means to be a Christmas spirit. And the romance is between the Christmas spirit and our main character, our female main character. So I don't know, I'm just really excited to see where that goes and how that's gonna work, because I mean, he's a ghost. How can they even touch, you know? I have no idea. I am literally like 10% into this book, so I have no idea. So far I'm liking it, but it's only 10%, so I have no idea where that book is gonna go. So right now I'm just gonna sit here and read a little bit more of These Twisted Bonds, see if I can finish it, and then I will update you guys once I do exactly that. Last night I finished These Twisted Bonds by Lexi Ryan, and that means that I finished an entire duology during this week's reading vlog. That makes me very happy. And I thought, let's chat about it. Let's see what my thoughts were on that book, and obviously do a little wrap up from all of the books that we read this week. So first things first, this duology. I loved it. The first book, 4 stars. It was great. It was young adult fantasy romance goodness with a slightly naive main character, I gotta admit, but still 4 stars. Really enjoyed it, would really recommend it. Then the second book. Do you guys remember when I said that this duology was going to be predictable? This was good. This was so good, and not always predictable, I have to admit. Some parts of it were predictable, but I did not see the ending coming. This had a lot more to it than what I was expecting. The whole love triangle starts in this book and is still going on in this book. But obviously in this book things changed, and we had an obvious love interest out of the two. It was just a way of how are they going to get together? And it was really fun. The banter was really fun. The forbiddenness about their love was really fun. This world was also quite big, and we kind of got to explore this world a lot, which I really loved. Honestly, the female main character, she kind of redeemed herself in this book, but she was still a little bit naive. And eventually she did make the right choice, but this is the type of main character who just wants to be friends with everyone and, you know, thinks about everyone's feelings. And she's very selfless, but also a little bit naive. And the selfless thing, I don't really mind, but the naivety in this book, didn't really like it, honestly. But in the end, she made the right choice. I'm happy with her. She made the right choice, in my opinion. And this duology was just very fun and bingeable, and I'm very happy that I've read it. Okay, to wrap up the rest of the books that I've read, obviously you saw me listening to the audiobook of Fearful by Lauren Roberts. I love being back into this world, and I ended up giving the book 3.5 stars because it was a fun time listening to it. And like I said earlier, if you like the powerless world, then maybe listen to it, because it will be a fun time and you will be back in a world that you already love with characters that you might hate or you might love. That's all up to you. I feel like this book is following the characters that you hate from the previous books, obviously. But even knowing that, when you go into it, that will make your experience fine. Honestly, it will be fine. If you want to pick it up, pick it up. If you don't want to pick it up, if you're not interested in our characters, then I think you can do without it as well. The final book I started in this reading vlog was Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, and honestly, I only got 10% into that one, so wasn't really a lot. Obviously, this week's reading vlog was all about how much do I realistically read in a week, so let's count how many pages I've read. This book is 480 pages. This book is 440 pages. Okay, nice numbers. Okay, I also checked how many pages Fearful is, and that is 211 pages. I also listened to Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, and I have read 40 pages of that. So that gets us up to 1171 pages, which is a very good number. And don't come at me in the comments and tell me that audiobooks aren't reading, because they are, okay? We have busy lives. We need to do our washing, we need to do our chores, and we would rather be sitting here and reading. So how can we combine those two? Listening to an audiobook while we do our chores. And obviously we are almost at the end of 2025, so please leave down in the comments what kind of book that you are most excited for to read before 2025 is over. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider sticking around and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!